The Brave Little Tailor. Once upon a time, in a small village tucked between rolling green hills, lived a young and cheerful tailor named Sam. Sam wasn't very strong or tall, but he had something far more valuable: a quick mind and an adventurous heart. Every day he worked in his tiny shop, sewing clothes for the villagers. He loved his craft, but deep down he dreamed of exploring the world and proving that even the smallest person could do great things. One sunny morning, as Sam was sewing a bright red tunic, the sweet smell of jam wafted through the air. "Ah, fresh jam!" Sam exclaimed, setting down his needle. He bought a jar from a passing merchant and spread it generously on a slice of bread. Just as he was about to take a bite, an unwelcome sound buzzed in his ear. Psst! Psst! It was a swarm of flies attracted to the sweet jam. Sam tried to shoo them away, but they kept coming. Annoyed, he grabbed a piece of cloth and swatted wildly. When the buzzing finally stopped, Sam looked at his handiwork. He had swatted 7 flies in one blow. 7 in one blow, he said aloud, marveling at his feat. An idea sparked in his mind. He grabbed a scrap of fabric and stitched the words 7 in one blow in bold letters. He fashioned it into a sash and proudly tied it around his chest. "If I can defeat 7 flies at once," he said, "who knows what else I can accomplish? It's time for an adventure." And so Sam packed his sewing needle, some thread, and a bit of bread in a small bundle, slung it over his shoulder, and set off to seek his fortune. After walking for hours, Sam reached a dense, dark forest. The trees stretched high into the sky, their branches blocking out the sun. Suddenly, the ground trembled beneath his feet. Boom! 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 A shadow loomed over him. It was a giant, tall as a tower and twice as wide. The giant squinted at Sam's sash and read, "7 in one blow? You must be a great warrior." Sam straightened his back and smiled. "Indeed I am. Would you like to see what I can do?" The giant laughed, a sound like thunder shaking the trees. "Prove it, little man. Let's have a contest. If you're truly as strong as you claim, you'll beat me." The giant picked up a heavy boulder and crushed it in his massive hand, turning it into dust. "Your turn," he said, crossing his arms. Sam thought quickly. He spotted a small bird egg on the ground, picked it up and held it in his hand. "Watch closely," he said. With a little squeeze, the egg cracked and oozed yolk. The giant's jaw dropped. "You're stronger than you look," he said, scratching his head. "But can you throw a rock higher than me?" The giant hurled a boulder into the sky, and it disappeared behind the clouds. "Beat that!" he boomed. Sam pretended to ponder. Then he pulled out a small birdseed pouch from his bundle. He threw a seed high into the air and it vanished into the sky. "My rock won't come back," Sam said with a shrug. "It's gone forever." The giant was astounded. "You're incredible. Let's be friends." Sam smiled, but he wasn't about to stick around with a giant who could accidentally squish him. He politely excused himself and continued on his way. Not long after, Sam came across another giant sleeping under a tree. This giant snored so loudly that it shook the ground. "I'll test my luck again," Sam thought. Sam climbed onto a nearby branch and dropped a small pebble onto the giant's head. The giant stirred but didn't wake. Sam did it again, and this time the giant opened one eye. "Who dares disturb my nap?" he grumbled. "It is I, the tailor, who defeated 7 in one blow," Sam announced, showing off his sash. The giant sat up and grinned. "Another strong one, eh? Let's see if you can carry my club." He handed Sam a massive wooden club, too heavy for 10 men to lift. Sam pretended to inspect it. "This is too big to carry," he said, "but I can throw it so far you'll never see it again." The giant laughed. "Prove it." Sam tied the club to a nearby tree with his thread, then climbed high into the branches. "I'll throw it from here," he shouted. He pushed the club off the branch, and the tree's springy branches flung it far into the forest. The giant clapped his hands in delight. "You're amazing. I bow to your strength." Sam smiled and hurried away, leaving the giant behind. After days of travel, Sam arrived at a magnificent castle. Word of his sash had spread, and the king summoned him to the throne room. "So, you're the warrior who defeated 7 in one blow," the king said, eyeing Sam skeptically. Sam bowed. "At your service, your majesty." The king leaned forward. "If you're as brave as they say, I have a task for you. Our kingdom is plagued by 2 fierce giants. Defeat them, and I'll reward you handsomely." Sam's eyes sparkled. "What kind of reward?" The king stroked his beard. "I'll give you half my kingdom and the hand of my daughter, Princess Eliza." Sam thought for a moment. "Consider it done." Sam ventured into the mountains where the 2 giants lived. He found them arguing over a treasure chest filled with gold. "It's mine," one giant roared. "No, it's mine," the other bellowed. Sam stepped forward. "Why fight when I can help?" The giants paused, intrigued. "How?" "I'll settle this with a contest," Sam said. "Whoever proves they're the strongest gets the treasure." The giants agreed. Sam handed them a thick rope. "Let's see who can pull the hardest. I'll hold the middle." The giants each grabbed an end of the rope, and Sam tied it around a tree. He shouted, "Pull!" and quickly ducked behind a rock. The giants pulled with all their might, uprooting the tree. It fell with a crash, knocking them both out. Sam dusted off his hands. "Easy enough," he said, gathering the treasure as proof of his victory. When Sam returned to the castle, the people cheered, and the king was true to his word. Sam married Princess Eliza in a grand ceremony and became a beloved ruler, known far and wide as the Brave Little Tailor. But Sam never stopped sewing. Even as king, he kept his needle and thread close, for it reminded him that great strength isn't measured by size or muscle, but by wit, courage, and a little creativity. And so Sam ruled wisely and happily ever after.